Hey everyone, I wanted to go ahead and film my January reading wrap up and just talk quick little bit about each of the books that I read. So, I read 10 books in the month of January. I have my notes over here because I can't remember them. I had 3 physical, I did 3 audio, and I did 4 ebooks. So, starting off, I did The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, and it was a nonfiction, and I rated about 3.25 stars. I don't really rate nonfiction or memoirs as really high. It's just kind of average. It's good information. The next one on my Kindle was Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars. Sometimes I like Tessa Bailey, sometimes I don't. This one was just, maybe I wasn't in the mood for it. The next one that I have is Sword of Kaigen. I have the copy now, but I did read it on my Kindle. And once I read it, I needed it. I was like, I gotta have it. I need my trophy for my shelf. 5 stars. If I could give it 1,000,000 stars, I would give it 1,000,000 stars. This is a all-time favorite for sure. After that was Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. I actually had this book because I started listening to the audio and I was like, I don't know if I can do that because it sounded very different. But once I got the hang of it and I kind of looked at the inside, it's got photos and things like that. I enjoyed it and I loved him reading it. That was really fun. I gave that one a 3.5 stars. So memoir, biography kind of thing, The next one I had was on my Kindle, and it was Lyric and the Heartbeats. It was a romance. It was set in the Omegaverse as Lola and the Millionaires, and I just like Lola and the Millionaires. I wasn't a fan of this one. I rated it 2.25 stars, so just wasn't my cup of tea. The next one is The Fellowship of the Ring. We were doing that in a page-to-screen book club through some people, and we just finished it up on January 31st, and I really enjoyed it. I've watched the books, the movies. I've watched the movies, and I've always enjoyed it, but it was so much more, and it was different, but it was fun, and I love my covers. I got them from Nerdy Ink. It was really cute. So, also, the Sword of Kaigen was our in real life book club, and we discussed that last Thursday, and we had some great discussions on it. I think that was one of our best ones, other than the very first one we did with the Bone K, and every single one of us hated it. So, the Fellowship of the Rings, 4.5 stars, just because there was a couple of times where I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting tired, but other than that, it was great. It was great. And I love going through the chapters and breaking it down. And once a week you read a certain amount and then you go to this part in the extended edition. It was great. The next one was an audiobook, and it was The Children of Gods and Fighting Men by Shauna Lawless. So far it's a trilogy, I think. I think she's coming out with a 4th book. That's what I saw on Goodreads. I enjoyed those. Those were great. It was Irish, Viking, mythology. It was fun. 4.5 stars. I think it was a little off-putting in some little spots, but other than that, it was great. And then I went directly into The Words of Kings and Prophets by Shauna Lawless. That's the second in the Gale Song, which is this series. And I rated that one 4.75. It was great. In fact, I've started the 3rd one today. So it was great. Of course, Onyx Storm. I did not do a reread. I just read this. And it was my favorite one. It was my favorite one so far. And it was fun. I think I rated that one 4.5 stars. And then, to get a little sci-fi in, I did Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I do plan on watching the show, because, of course, can't get that sticker off. But it was good. I think I finished it in less than 12 hours. Started reading it the night before and then finished it the next day. It was fun. 4.75 stars. And I did DNF one book. It was called Existential Kink, and it was a nonfiction. Just not for me. Not for me. But if you average all of the rankings, then without the nonfiction and biography, it was 4.1 reading month. But if you average them in, it was 4 stars. So I felt like that was a pretty good reading month. And I did, let's see, I wrote it down. Memoir nonfiction, 20%, romance, 20%, fantasy, 40%. So it was a good bit of fantasy this month. Romantasy, which was Onyx Storm, which was 10%, and sci-fi was 10%. So I just kind of like having those little percentages, and to see how my reading went for the month, whether it was a lot of 2 stars or was it pretty high. Because if I'm reading a lot of things that bring that rating down, obviously I need to see what I'm not liking in that. So, but that was my reading wrap up, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.